Well, folks, as someone who lives in a border state, yes, I call Texas home, I can tell you firsthand, we have reached full-blown crisis status on the border. FEMA has been called in to help manage the tens of thousands of migrants trying to illegally cross our southern border. FEMA, this is an agency that responds to disasters. And though the Biden administration refuses to call what's happening on the border a crisis, I don't know, maybe disaster is a better word here. Congresswoman Kat Cammack of Florida brought the crisis home while questioning Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. An illegal alien, deported multiple times, had kidnapped her high school classmate. That woman's name was Amber Scott. She took him from a Walgreens parking lot when she was 19 years old.
How many more Ambers have to be kidnapped across America before you will take action?
Congresswoman, I find that question to be extraordinarily disrespectful. Disrespectful not only to me, but disrespectful to the men and women of the Department of Homeland Security and to all the frontline personnel throughout this country who dedicate themselves to the safety and security of the American people.
I don't understand what's disrespectful about the question. You see, that kind of arrogant answer is actually disrespectful to the American people. Secretary Mayorkas, illegals committing serious crimes is a huge problem in this country, and stopping illegals at the border, demanding that they come here legally, will and has saved lives. And for every Border Patrol agent that I have spoken with, listen to me, you don't get to use their name. Stop pretending to stick up for them. You and the administration has turned your back on Border Patrol, and your party has a long history of turning its back on law enforcement. Now you turn your back on the American people as well. It is sad. So Mayorkas and his fellow leftists need to realize people die at the hands of illegals every day in America. It's not just gang violence either. Everyday folks are being killed by illegals who should have never been here in the first place. Take Brandon Michael, a young man. He was on his lunch break going to get food when a twice-deported illegal rammed his car so hard into Brandon's it flipped that car. Brandon died minutes later. The prosecution proved that illegal alien stood there and watched Brandon die. He didn't call for help. He didn't render aid. So I would like to ask Secretary Mayorkas, if it's disrespectful for me to ask, how many more Ambers will be there before something is done? How many more Brandons have to die before something is done? Well, joining me now is that angel parent, Brandon's mom, Kiyan Michael. Kiyan, it's great to have you on the program. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Greg.
Well, it would be nice if Secretary Mayorkas would answer that question, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. There are parents like myself whose child should still be here. It's interesting that they say that's disrespectful. What about my son? What about so many thousands of other American sons and children, grandsons, daughters, and uncles and aunts that have been killed, their moms and dads? Our son deserved to still be here, living his life. And we're talking about disrespectful. What is disrespectful is that you have parents like myself whose child died of preventable death. If the illegal had not been here and been twice deported and came back into our city and our community, then my son would be here living his life. So if they want to talk about disrespectful, what's disrespectful to me is that we've been ignored by Congress. We have a congressional system right now. We have an administration that simply has ignored their oath of office that they've taken. They're going against our very Constitution as it is written. If we want to talk about disrespectful, what about as a taxpayer, we are being taxed without representation? If we want to talk about disrespectful, this should never be happening. It should never have happened. Well, and our son deserves to still be here, as many as all the other thousands of children, innocent Americans who have been killed at the hands of someone who should have never been in our country to begin with.
You know, Kiyan, I know we were starting to see some progress under President Trump. He really was doing a great job of
Yes.
securing that border. Before the election, I had heard you say, we need to stop it altogether, this illegal immigration. What is this like now to watch all the progress we have made on the border be completely unfolded?
It's devastating because we know that we are the end results of the reality of what happens when our country is not secure. Listen, we've worked with our governor, my family and I, we've worked side by side with the greatest governor that we believe in America, Governor DeSantis. And of course, I'm a little biased with that, but I believe it to be true because he has stood for law and order. And listen, for angel families and families that's been directly impacted, we cannot be shut up. We cannot be, no one can fool us that this is not a crisis. And it has gotten much, much worse. Our former administration absolutely was active in shutting this down. And we commend President Trump for that. But now we're here and we're at the place where more American lives are at stake than ever before. The reality is it doesn't matter what race you are. As you can plainly see, this is not about race. It doesn't matter what culture you come from. What matters is that this is America. And if we can have Capitol buildings with a barbed wire around them and a fence around them, surely we can secure our nations. And surely American citizens deserve better than what we're receiving right now.
Yeah. You know, the man that killed your son got 2 years, and then he was ultimately deported again. Now, he'd been deported twice before, so who knows if he's back in the United States or not. But 2 years, he gets to go home and spend time with his families. You don't get to spend any more time with your son. Lastly, before I let you go, what is your message to every other mother out there, especially Democrats, liberals, that somehow think open borders are a good idea? What is your message to them?
That they deserve better, that we need to open up our mouths and lift our voices and say, listen, if we want to talk about the lives that matter, let's be real and let's talk about American lives. We are in America. My message to them would be that they need to contact their congressmen. They need to contact those who they're paying taxes to represent them and say, do your job, secure our borders, secure our homes. We go to bed every night and we lock our doors because we love not only those who are inside, but we want to protect those who are inside. It's too late for many of our children, but it's not too late for their children. So stand up.
No.
Do not cower down.
Well,
contact your congressman. Let them know this is serious. This is real. This is a crisis, and we deserve better.
Well, you certainly do. Kiyan Michael, I will tell you, your voice is so powerful. And what a great job you do pushing this message. Don't ever stop because so many lives will be saved. I do believe because of the fight that you and the other angel families are waging right now, really in the name of the law and doing what's right. Kiyan Michael, thank you. We're so sorry for your loss. God bless you.
Thank you so much for having us.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV because we're real news for real people.